Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we're going to do something a little bit different. The modding community in Total War has always been amazing, this much is true, but the newer games make it far harder for certain types of mods. The best example of this is changing the campaign map to something of a different universe if you want to do a complete overhaul for a game. I am currently on what is considered one of the newer titles for Total War, Shogun 2, though as you can see from just the title screen, the game has been radically changed to the Last Alliance Total War, a massive overhaul based on Tolkien's Middle-earth in the Second Age. And I've got to say, with my limited time playing this mod, this might be one of the most impressive and ambitious mods so far. But let's not waste any more time, and I can show you exactly what I mean. Can we just admire the fact that the unit models look absolutely amazing? This is just some of the elves available with this mod and, well, look at this. It looks like it's made from an official Total War. And I've got to be very honest here, some of these models in this mod look so much better than officially added ones. The textures look absolutely awesome, especially like stuff like the shields for the elves, which really have that Tolkien aspect. Even idle as they are just now, they look absolutely amazing, and it's something which I just find myself staring at every now and then when I'm playing through this mod. Now, by far the most impressive thing about this mod is that it has a working campaign, and we'll show that off in just a bit, but keep in mind the following. First off, this mod is still a work in progress, which means that not every possible faction has been implemented, and not every location in the Middle-earth map is also in there. The mod is receiving regular updates, and slowly but surely more and more stuff is being added in. There are a few factions implemented as stated before, each of them are quite playable and honestly very enjoyable. You've got the Numenoreans in different styles, the Elves of Middle-earth, and of course the Men of Harad. So now let's take a look towards the campaign map, which, as I stated before, not everything has been implemented as of the time of recording this video, yet it is absolutely detailed and there is so much to see. Keep in mind that you're also seeing Fog of War here, as I'm playing as a specific faction which doesn't have access to the whole campaign map. Already so much has been added in, and you can get a decent sized campaign just from this. Of course, only the far western regions of Middle-earth have been added in, but even then, I'd say you still get a decent amount of hours in, even if you only play as one of the 7 playable factions. Like I said before, all the races and factions are still not implemented in the mod, however this image on screen will show off the roadmap that they have, and it shows off what they have planned for all the various different updates. As you can see, eventually they have planned to add in the Dwarven Kingdoms, the Woodland Realms, Mordor, and even the Easterlings, a personal favourite of mine as I do play them on the Lord of the Rings Strategy Battle tabletop. Going into a much more detailed view of a specific area, you can see that everything is incredibly well stylized. It looks and feels like Total War, but obviously in Tolkien's universe. It's just great to see something of this detail, especially for an era which really isn't explored too much by game developers. Those were just towns and cities owned by the Numenoreans. Now we're looking at the towns of the Harad, and everything again looks incredibly stylized. The great little thing about this is that everything has its own unique culture. Gameplay wise, it's of course following Shogun 2, because, well, this is a mod for Shogun 2, and it's not that hard to play through. It is drastically different to Warhammer if you're more used to Warhammer settings, but if you're used to Shogun 2, Artilla and so on, you shouldn't really have too many issues playing through this. The mod itself integrates with Shogun 2 very well, and it's not like there is a steep learning curve, though again, do not expect stuff like Three Kingdoms, Troy, or even Warhammer, as there are no single entity characters here, so you're going to have to keep your generals safe and secure, very much like all the older style Total Wars. Keep in mind, in terms of immersion, some of the battle maps, if not all of them, are currently still using Shogun 2's assets. So when you do attack some locations, yeah, you're gonna get Japanese villages and so on. I do believe this is planned to change in the future through some updates, but it's really not much of a problem. You can still very much enjoy the battles, and the battles in Shogun 2 are extremely satisfying. Let's just take the time now to look over the units implemented in the mod already. First, we'll be looking at all the units for the Haradrim factions. Keep in mind that the Haradrim themselves don't have a lot of official artwork. They are of course a culture that was introduced into Tolkien's universe and expanded upon, but not too much. You have to remember that obviously Tolkien introduced a massive universe for the fans to enjoy, and some cultures did not get as much attention as others. There might have been plans in the future, however the main writers of the universe, Tolkien himself or even his son Christopher, have since then passed away. Though other companies such as Games Workshop have taken their own artistic inspiration and have provided for those models. New Line Cinema did this also, and it's very likely that there is a basis for these Haradrim to have inspiration from Games Workshop and New Line Cinema. Again, like I said though, the models look absolutely fantastic, and they look and feel like they belong in this game engine. The Haradrim themselves might not be the most interesting looking faction to you because, well, they're humans, there's nothing too big about them. So let's take the time now and look over the Elves, and again, they look absolutely amazing. Visually, at least by my personal thoughts about this, the Elves look the best out of all the units added into the Total War Last Alliance. Many of the Elves are drastically visually different as their armor does vary, and honestly that just adds in a lot more flavor for them. And yes, I understand that I'm pretty much fanboying throughout the whole video, but then again, I'm a big fan of Tolkien's universe, and I like the whole idea of the Second Era the most. This is an era that doesn't really get touched upon much by various forms of media or game developers, so it's great to see this in the form of a mod, and such a high detailed mod too. Lastly, the Numenoreans, the typical normal style human faction. This is representative of factions which are both good and evil. The faction itself is probably the most everyman, if that makes the most sense. From heavily armored warriors to quite fast skirmishing cavalry, you've got a little bit of everything here, which makes it the most well-rounded. Again, these units look absolutely great, and you've seen their influence throughout all of Tolkien's history, especially later on with the kingdoms of Gondor, Arnor, and a few others. They're easily one of the most recognizable, and most likely going to be the easiest ones players can use to get used to the game mechanics with this mod. So as we look through some more of the Elves so we can just enjoy how great the unit models look, let's just talk about the mod in general and go over some things that you need to know. Of course, as I said earlier in the video, the mod is still a work in progress and still needs quite a few things being added in. However, it's still very much possible to currently play so, and you can find a direct link to the mod page itself in the description below. Bear in mind, this isn't like the more newer Total Wars, there's no workshop, you're going to have to download this from ModDB. On that mod page, there's also a direct link to their Discord and Patreon page should you want to find out more news directly from them or you want to support them a little bit financially. The fact that this mod is being created in Shogun 2 is absolutely amazing, as obviously the older Total War titles have a lot more to offer mechanically. I've been following this mod closely myself, but I really haven't made a video on it until just now because, well, I'll be very honest, I've been waiting for more and more development time. But with the campaign being so user-friendly and very playable, I figured this would probably be the best time. If you have Shogun 2, I recommend getting this mod right away. If you don't, I do recommend trying Shogun 2 in its vanilla state too, because it's actually really enjoyable. And for those regular viewers of my stream, let me know if you want to see a stream of this sometime down the line. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince, and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman, and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.